Have you ever woken up in the morning, sat at the edge of your bed and thought, why am I already tired and the day hasn't even started? If you have, you're definitely not alone. A lot of people feel that way after 65, and the truth is, it's not just about getting older. It's about a few sneaky habits that slowly chip away at your energy every single day. And the good news is, once you recognize them, you can start taking your energy back, one simple change at a time. Today, I want to have a real heart-to-heart with you. We're going to talk about 4 everyday things you might be doing without even realizing it, things that quietly drain your energy, leaving you feeling more sluggish than you need to be. These aren't huge life changes. You don't need to start training for a marathon or live on green smoothies. These are simple shifts that can make a world of difference, helping you feel more vibrant, more alive, and yes, even younger at heart. So, grab a cozy seat, maybe a cup of tea or coffee, and let's dive in together. Let's start with one of the biggest energy stealers that often hides right in plain sight: saying yes when you really mean no. It's funny, isn't it? We spend so much of our lives trying to be there for others, to show up, to not let anyone down. And that's beautiful. It really is. But after a certain point in life, especially after 65, it's time to think about who you're showing up for. And more importantly, what it's costing you. Every time you say yes to something that drains you, whether it's a social event you don't enjoy, a favor that feels more like an obligation, or even a phone call that leaves you feeling exhausted, you're using up precious energy that could be spent on the things and the people that truly fill your heart. Learning to say no with kindness and confidence isn't selfish. It's wise. It's protective. And it's necessary. Think about it this way: if you only have so much energy in your daily tank, wouldn't you rather use it for things that light you up instead of wear you down? It's okay to protect your peace. It's okay to rest. It's okay to prioritize yourself. And the more you do it, the more vibrant you'll feel, not just physically but emotionally too. And speaking of emotional drains, that brings me to another quiet thief of energy: holding on to old resentments and regrets. Now, I know, life gives all of us our fair share of heartaches. Broken friendships, family misunderstandings, decisions we wish we could go back and change. It's part of being human. But when we carry those heavy emotions around like old luggage day after day, year after year, it weighs us down in ways we can't always see. It sneaks into our bodies as tension, into our minds as stress, and into our hearts as sadness. After 65, it's time to lighten that load. Not because what happened didn't matter, it did, but because you deserve to move forward without that extra weight on your shoulders. Forgiveness isn't about saying that what hurt you was okay. It's about freeing yourself from having to relive the hurt again and again. It's about saying, I choose peace for myself no matter what. Even forgiving yourself is part of it. Those mistakes you made, those times you think, I should have known better, let them go. You did the best you could with the knowledge and tools you had at the time. And if you could go back, you would do it differently now because you've grown. You've lived. You've learned. And that's something to be proud of, not something to beat yourself up over. Just imagine how much lighter you'd feel if you set all of that old pain down today. Imagine walking into tomorrow carrying only love, only hope, only excitement for what's still ahead. That kind of freedom, it gives you your energy back in ways that no vitamin or exercise routine ever could. And while we're talking about freeing ourselves, there's another subtle way we sometimes trap our own energy without realizing it: staying stuck in routines that no longer bring us joy. You know how it is. Maybe you always eat the same breakfast, take the same walk around the block, watch the same TV shows, talk about the same old topics. And for a long time, those habits were comfortable, familiar, safe. But sometimes what once gave us comfort can quietly turn into a rut. And when you're stuck in a rut, life starts feeling smaller, and your energy follows right behind it. Here's the beautiful part: it doesn't take anything dramatic to shake things up and breathe new life into your days. It can be as simple as trying a new hobby, taking a different route for your walk, calling an old friend you haven't spoken to in years, or even picking up a new book at the library that's outside of what you'd normally read. Tiny changes wake up the brain. They wake up the spirit. They remind you that life still has surprises and joys to offer, and you still have so much living to do. It's not about chasing constant excitement or being busy just for the sake of it. It's about staying curious, about allowing little sparks of adventure to find their way into your life. Because when you stay open, when you stay curious, you invite energy in. You invite possibility in. And there's nothing more youthful or powerful than that. Now that we've opened the door to protecting your energy by saying no when you need to, by letting go of heavy emotional baggage, and by inviting fresh experiences into your daily life, let's take a deeper breath together and keep going. When we let go of the habits that weigh us down, it's like a whole new world opens up. One that's lighter, brighter, and full of possibilities we might have forgotten were even there. Now, another big energy drain that sneaks up on a lot of us after 65 is worrying about things we can't control. It's almost second nature, isn't it? You hear about something on the news or a family member shares some stressful story, and before you know it, your mind is racing, your heart's a little faster, and you're feeling exhausted, and you haven't even left your chair. The truth is, worry can be sneaky like that. It creeps into your mind in the quiet moments, saps your energy bit by bit, and leaves you feeling drained without really giving you anything in return. I'm not saying it's easy to just stop worrying, if only it were that simple. But what you can do is start to catch yourself when it's happening. Pay attention to those moments when your mind starts spiraling. Maybe you're worrying about your health, or about what might happen in the world, or how your grandchildren will turn out. When you notice it, gently remind yourself, is this something I can actually do anything about right now? If the answer is no, it's okay to let it go. It doesn't make you careless or irresponsible. It makes you wise enough to protect your peace. One little trick that's helped a lot of people is what I like to call the worry box method. Picture a small box, real or imaginary, and when a worry pops up that you can't fix today, imagine placing it carefully in that box and closing the lid. You can tell yourself, I'll come back to it if I need to, but for now it's safe in there. It sounds simple, but it really can free up so much space in your mind and heart for the things that matter most. The phone call from a friend, the smell of fresh coffee, the way the light looks dancing on the kitchen floor in the afternoon. Worrying about things we can't change doesn't protect us. It just robs us of the joy we could be feeling today. And at this stage of life, every day is too precious to waste on fear of the unknown. Speaking of fear, there's another habit that can quietly steal our energy without us even realizing it. Saying yes to things we don't really want to do. Now, you might be thinking, well, that's just part of being a good person, right? But here's the thing. After a lifetime of helping, giving, and putting others first, it's more than okay to choose where you put your time and energy. In fact, it's essential. You've earned the right to spend your days doing what lights you up, not what drags you down. Yet many of us still say yes out of guilt, habit, or the fear of disappointing someone. Maybe it's volunteering for something we don't enjoy anymore, attending every single event out of obligation, or agreeing to commitments that don't align with where we are in life now. The cost of all those yes we didn't really mean? It's our energy, our peace, and sometimes even our health. It's not about becoming selfish, it's about becoming wise with your most valuable resources. Your time, your heart, your energy. One simple way to start is by giving yourself permission to pause before answering. When someone asks you to do something, you can say, let me think about it and get back to you. That little pause gives you the breathing room to ask yourself, is this something I genuinely want to give my time to? Will it bring me joy, or will it leave me feeling drained? If the answer leans toward drained, it's perfectly okay to say no, kindly but firmly. And the best part? The more you practice it, the easier it gets. You'll start to notice how much lighter you feel when you honor your true feelings instead of forcing yourself into things out of habit. It's like setting down a heavy backpack you didn't even realize you were carrying. You might even find that people respect you more when you respect yourself. Because when you say yes from a place of true willingness, not obligation, your yes becomes even more powerful, more joyful, and more full of life. All of this leads naturally to another quiet, hidden habit that can wear down our energy day by day, holding on to clutter, not just the clutter in our homes but the clutter in our minds and hearts too. It's amazing how much space old things, and old feelings, can take up without us even realizing it. Now, I'm not saying you have to go through your entire house in a weekend and turn it into a minimalist showroom. Not at all. But think about how you feel when you walk into a room that's clear, bright, and open compared to one that's crowded with old papers, boxes, or things you haven't touched in years. Your mind picks up on that even if you're not consciously thinking about it. It's like background noise that hums away at your energy. And it's the same with emotional clutter. Holding on to old resentments, regrets, or disappointments can weigh on you just as much as a crowded closet. Every old grudge, every moment of I should have, or why didn't I, that you carry with you is like carrying around extra weight you don't need anymore. One small step at a time, you can start clearing space, both around you and inside you. Maybe today it's just one drawer, one shelf, one old thought you're ready to let go of. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for something you did the best you could with at the time. Maybe it's donating an old sweater you haven't worn in a decade to someone who could use it now. Every little bit you release creates a little more room for joy, peace, and fresh energy to flow in. And you deserve that. You deserve a life that feels spacious, light, and free, not weighed down by what once was but no longer serves you. Letting go of clutter, whether it's on the shelf or in the soul, isn't about forgetting the past. It's about making space for today and tomorrow to be as good as they possibly can be. And speaking of making space for today, There's something else that quietly but powerfully affects our energy after 65. Losing touch with our sense of curiosity. You know that spark you had when you were younger? That excitement about learning something new, exploring new ideas, trying new things, even if you didn't know exactly where it would lead? That sense of wonder is pure fuel for the spirit. And it's still inside you waiting to be reignited. Too often, life after retirement can fall into routines that, while comforting, sometimes turn into ruts. Days can start to blend together, the same news, the same meals, the same conversations. Familiarity is a beautiful thing, but growth, discovery, and a touch of surprise? They're essential to keeping our minds sharp and our spirits alive. The amazing thing is, it doesn't have to be anything grand or expensive. It could be as simple as reading a book from a genre you never usually pick up, taking a different walking route, learning to cook a new recipe from a country you've never visited, or even just asking more questions during a conversation instead of giving the same old answers. When you invite curiosity back into your life, even in small ways, you invite energy too. Your brain lights up, your heart feels a little more open, and suddenly the world feels bigger again, full of things yet to discover. It's like giving yourself permission to be a beginner again, to feel the excitement of not knowing and figuring it out as you go. And there's something so refreshing, so life-giving about that. In fact, staying curious might be one of the greatest secrets to not just surviving after 65, but truly thriving. Another sneaky energy drainer? Carrying unrealistic expectations for ourselves. We live in a world that bombards us with messages about how we should look, what we should be doing, how busy and productive we should still be, even at a stage of life where, truthfully, the most important thing we can do is to be fully alive in whatever way feels most true for us. It's exhausting trying to keep up with invisible, often impossible standards that were never really ours to begin with. You don't have to run marathons, climb mountains, or reinvent yourself every decade unless you truly want to. You don't have to look 20 years younger, stay endlessly busy, or prove anything to anyone. You're already enough exactly as you are today. Right now. Not 10 pounds lighter, not 5 years younger, not after another diploma, certificate, or milestone. Imagine how much energy you could reclaim if you dropped all the shoulds and just embraced yourself with the same kindness and admiration you would offer a dear old friend. Because here's the truth that very few people will tell you: there is incredible power in being content. Contentment isn't giving up. It's not settling. It's a quiet kind of happiness that comes from knowing who you are, appreciating what you have, and letting go of the constant need for more, better, faster. When you step into contentment, you stop leaking your energy into chasing things that don't really matter. You anchor yourself in the simple, solid joys of the present. A smile, a sunrise, a story shared over a cup of tea. And from that solid, peaceful place, all kinds of beautiful new possibilities can still unfold. Because life after 65 isn't the end of anything. It's the start of a chapter you get to write on your own terms. And the more you gently release the habits that steal your energy, the over-worrying, the unnecessary obligations, the clutter, the rigid expectations, the more energy you'll have to fill your days with the things that truly light you up. Not out of pressure or duty or fear, but out of a deep, abiding sense of joy. Joy that's quieter, perhaps, but richer. Joy that doesn't shout. It sings softly and sweetly through the moments that matter most.